I have learned about so many SCPs, even though I've only barely scratched the surface, but I know that you know that we all know that you should believe in the me that believes in you, for I am the only one fit to lead this ethics committee. I have never committed an act of degeneracy anywhere on this YouTube channel, and you know for a fact that you can trust me with your lives. Yeah. Vote for 0. Anyways, what do we even do here?
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Good afternoon.
Sit down. Your schedule has been cleared.
Alrighty.
Do not attempt to leave the room until you are told that this session is over. The door is already
what if
locked,
I have to
but
go?
it is crucial you pay attention.
I see.
Good.
I'll just hold it in then.
You are now part of the SCP Foundation's Ethics Committee. This is not a demotion. Sit down.
What?
Yes, you're terrified.
Okay.
You think you're being punished
yeah.
for some failure. Some lapse of judgment. Some horrible disaster that you were involved with. You think that your career with the Foundation is over. You might even have thought that transferred to the Ethics Committee is a euphemism for killed. This is not the case.
Okay, good.
You'll notice I said killed instead of terminated. That's a deliberate choice. On the Ethics Committee, we don't use euphemisms. Because of the work that the SCP Foundation does, a lot of personnel think that the idea of the Foundation having an Ethics Committee is just a bad joke. Or they know that the committee exists, but they've got the impression that we're an ineffectual laughingstock. A bunch of purposeless seat fillers who wave a rubber stamp that says approved and never dare to voice an objection. Yes, I see you've heard the jokes. Here's one. How many members of the Ethics Committee does it take to change a light bulb?
Classic, this one.
The Ethics Committee can't change anything.
Okay. I was just kind of playing along with it, but that was actually kind of funny.
No, it's alright. You're meant to laugh. We make an effort to sustain the impression that we are useless, because we are the secret power within the SCP Foundation. Sit down.
Well, I
Yes,
gotta
there
go.
Are the O5s. They judge what is and isn't safe. And that's a vital and important function, but we are the ones who advise the O5s on what is and is not acceptable.
Oh, really?
You've done horrible, awful things while working for the Foundation. Don't try to deny it, Doctor. We've all done horrible, awful things while working for the Foundation. That is one of the unavoidable consequences of working with SCPs.
Yeah.
And on occasion you've wondered if we are the quote-unquote bad guys.
I mean, I wouldn't mind being a part of the baddies.
Well, we're not. And that is because of the Ethics Committee. This is your first lesson. Do you understand?
Yes.
Remember this. The Foundation is not evil. We do not torture people just because. We are against unnecessary cruelty, which means somebody has to decide when cruelty is necessary. And that somebody is us.
Yeah.
Stop trembling.
Oh.
It is important that you remember this.
It's kind of cold in here.
It is your second lesson. The Foundation does not rule the world. The Foundation serves the world. Do you understand what that means?
I do,
Regardless of what the general population might think it wants, what we do, what the Foundation does, is in the overall best interests of the general population.
I feel like we might have a bit too much power when it comes to this. Like, who are we to decide how other people should live their lives? Are we playing God? I don't know if I'm actually, never mind. I am a mad scientist. I'm 100% with this.
Yes, actually, you did realize that already, but you haven't thought of the deeper implications. You've consoled yourself by thinking that all the torture and murder is for the greater good. This implies that there is a greater good, and a lesser good. It implies that there are multiple distinct goods, and that these can be quantified and compared. This is what we on the Ethics Committee do. We are the ones who balance the moral costs of everything the Foundation does. And in order to balance these costs, we must know those costs. Do you realize what that means, Doctor? It means we know everything the Foundation does, has done, and will ever do. Everything that has ever been redacted or expunged. We know it. Every last detail. Yes, including what SCP-447-2 does when it comes into contact with dead bodies. Yes.
I remembered that SCP.
We know exactly what Procedure 110 Montauk is.
Yeah?
We should.
Me too.
We are the ones who designed it.
Oh my.
No, it's quite alright. It's a common reaction. Perhaps we shouldn't schedule these meetings directly after lunch, I suppose. Here.
Oh.
Wipe your mouth. You will no longer be participating in active
okay,
research.
thanks, man. I bet
You may consider
didn't get
yourself a
that cue.
researcher at large, fitting from one project to another, from one site to another, at will. This is not a secret. You are welcome to tell all your friends that you have been transferred to the Ethics Committee, if you can deal with the jokes and the pity.
Well, joke's on you. I have no friends!
You will observe what is done, and ask the participants, and yourself, why it is being done. If at any point you feel that something is excessive, or unnecessary, or wrong, you inform us. We will summon the people involved and ask them questions in that meek, ineffectual way your co-workers have marked. And then word will filter down from the O5s through the many levels of our bureaucracy, and those who are unethical will be given reprimands, which will be noted on their permanent record, or their pay will be cut, or they will be demoted, or they will be transferred to another project, or they will be shot for crimes against humanity. This is your third lesson. Remember it. The P stands for protect. The Foundation protects humanity from SCPs, and we protect the Foundation from itself. We judge what is and is not acceptable for the Foundation to do. We balance evils so that on the whole, and in the long run, evil is minimized. No, you don't have a choice about being on the committee.
I actually want to rule the committee, but...
The irony is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. Unironically, that was actually a really good video. The voiceover and the timing and everything was just impeccable, really. Massive props to TheVolgun for yet another great SCP video. Also, please go and leave a like on the video if you haven't already. A link will be at the top of the description. I like how we get introduced to the Ethics Committee as like somebody from the SCP Foundation who's been recruited into it. It's a very interesting viewpoint, and it helps introduce us to how people see the Ethics Committee as well as the duties that they perform, giving us some information about things that other people shouldn't know, right? Like, oh, only people on the Ethics Committee know about what this specific SCP actually does, because that knowledge would be far too dangerous and far too harmful to the Foundation as a whole. Seems like a super stressful job for people who have more than likely killed their own emotions. To be given the power to decide what is right and what is wrong, whether we should withhold information that could potentially save somebody in order for the greater good of humanity, that is not a position that I would like to be in. I mean, given the skit that I did in the intro, it's kind of ironic, but I mean, if you're gonna have to join the organization, you should at least be the head honcho of it. Go big or go home, I say. But I don't think we've ever heard mention of the Ethics Committee, except for maybe in, what was it? Was it Shy Guy's video that we watched? I think I watched that on stream with Serby, but in the other SCPs that we checked out, I suppose it just hasn't really been relevant. Or maybe their involvement was something that should be kept under wraps. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.